Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today the video that we are filming for you is, we haven't tentatively settled on a title, but it's the best books to read in each season. Chasity came up with this idea. I think it's a really cool idea because we are both very much mood readers. So while this might be like our mood during the seasons, it might not be yours, but these are just like ones that we think of when, like, during those seasons, and one that I would recommend reading if you're mood readers too.
Yeah, at least for us.
Yes.
They're like some of our go-to reads for those seasons.
Or like when I was reading the book, it gave me like this season vibes. Yeah.
For whatever. We'll like try to explain it to you.
I know, hopefully it will make more sense after we talk about it. The first season that we're gonna talk about is spring. The first one I have for spring is Pride and Prejudice. It's been several years, like probably like 10 years since I've read the book, but the movie for sure gives me spring vibes, so I feel like the book has to also.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
It's very descriptive in like the outdoorsy situation, and you know.
I get that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same about mine, which is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. It's very springy, and they're always in the garden, and it's
just
always
fresh.
herbs,
Yeah.
and it's just so I feel like always going back to Practical Magic.
Yeah.
And that world, like any of the Owen sisters.
For sure.
So
the other one I have for spring is something that she also mentioned for spring when we were talking about this video, but it's the first A Court of Thorns and Roses book.
Yeah.
Just because obviously like it takes place in the spring court. So it's literally like when we were talking about doing this book, I was like, spring, oh, Avatar. Like, that might be a little on the nose, but
it's a little ridiculous,
it does
but
give me those vibes.
It's vibes.
The imagery is like very springy because it's the spring court. So
it literally takes place in the spring court.
Yeah.
Everything about it is so springy.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just
you know,
literally spring.
Yeah.
Got it. Check. The other one that I go to for spring is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. And that one just, again, I don't know, there's something witchy to me about spring.
That's
which
fine.
is interesting.
I think of fall, but
I also think of fall.
Yeah.
Like they're both for
in
me.
like in Wicca, like, you know, plants and things blooming in the new awakening, like it's very big.
Exactly.
So I get that.
So it's like very like the blooming and the new season and new life. It's very
like when I think of like Hollywood witches, I think of fall, but when I think of like the actual Wicca spirituality, I think of spring for sure.
So those, it's very witchy for me.
Yeah,
I like to go and revisit those witches.
For summer, the first one that I want to talk about is, once again, this is gonna be very on the nose, but The Summer I Turned Pretty. These were books that I read. It's a trilogy. I read them when I was younger. I very much see the issues with them now, but they were like one of my favorite books to read when I was younger. And it takes place in a beach house, and they're friends that only reconnect during the summer when they go to this beach house. And so it is very like nostalgic for me. And it's one that I wanted to mention because I know there is, I don't know if it's a show or a movie coming out soon, like an adaptation of it, and so I know a lot of people are picking it up, but it is very, very, very summery to me. I know it's in the title, but it's literally what I think of when I think of reading over the summer, is books like that take place on a beach, in a beach house, and you know, stuff like that.
That's absolutely it. Like summery. Now
summer to me is like romancy. I like to read romance in the summer.
So much romance. I read a lot of romance and a lot of rom-coms and a lot of like lighter reads. Sometimes I'll just pick up like a contemporary fiction.
But you will not catch me reading like a really dark thriller in the summer. I'm just really not in the mood for it. Give me a couple months.
No, I mean, it depends, because I am really a mood reader, so I will switch it up. So it doesn't, I won't say that. I won't say that I will not read a thriller in the middle of summer, because I will.
Yeah, it's not like I refuse. I just
jump
don't
around
do it.
to whatever. But I typically do reach more for like the summer ones. So like for me, I said Book Lovers by Emily Henry, because that I literally just finished that.
Haven't read that one yet.
Loved it. Loved it so much, and it definitely does take place, you know, summer vacation. Loved it so much. I'm not gonna say too much, but seriously, pick up the damn book.
I will. Another one I have for summer is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover.
Such a summer book.
Such a summer book.
A summer.
Takes place during the summer by a beach.
Literally, you just say the title and I'm just like... Summer.
Quintessential summer book.
I literally think of the beach.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah. Did you have a second one?
I did. One Italian Summer, literally in the title. One Italian Summer, Rebecca Searle.
We're not doing anything like revolutionary here.
We're not. But this one's fun for me. I love this one. I know we just talked about this one on the channel. She went on a trip to Italy after losing her mom, and she literally spent the summer in Italy.
Who doesn't want to read about that if you can't do it?
If you're spending your summer working a 9 to 5
in the Midwest, like we are.
In the Midwest, do you want to read about a summer in Italy?
I think that's why I want to read about like the beach.
Yeah.
Because like we live in like literally the middle of the country, so there's no ocean around us.
Yeah, so I want to read about the ocean. I want to read about a summer in Italy. I want to go the places that I can't go.
Yeah. Right.
So that's what I'm reading about. Right. So exactly.
As far as fall goes, obviously, like everybody else, I get into like a very spooky mood. I want darker things. Paranormal,
thrillers, paranormal time. Yeah.
First one I want to talk about is Layla by Colleen Hoover.
Ooh, that's such a good fall read.
Very fall read. It's a paranormal romance. When I think of it, I don't think of it as a romance. I'm not gonna lie.
I never think of it as a romance.
No, but I guess that's what it's qualified as.
I guess it. Yeah. You know what? It was because when it was coming out, I do remember it being paranormal romance, and I don't.
It's not very romance heavy in my mind.
Also, there's some construction going on outside my house,
I hope you can't
so
hear
if you guys can hear that, I'm really, really sorry. Yeah. That like just started. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so that's very fall to me. The whole paranormal.
That's very, very fall.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I chose some thrillers too. Mother May I by
Yes.
Jocelyn Jackson.
It's a mouthful.
Wow.
Love that book.
It's such a good book.
Didn't we do a book babble on that?
We did do a book babble on that.
Very good.
Very, very good. But that one just gave me fall vibes.
For
just
sure.
Because, you know, like, that's something I would be in the mood to read.
Yeah. The other one I have is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Really anything Ruth Ware I feel like gives me fall vibes, but this one especially because once again it has kind of like a paranormal aspect to it.
Yeah.
I've talked about this on the channel before too. Very, very good. It's probably my favorite Ruth Ware book that I've read. Okay. Yeah.
I have that one. I haven't read it yet.
It's good.
Okay. The other one that I chose was Rules of Birken by Tracy Finlay.
I also read this one. It's also very good.
Not only is it just like a fall vibe because it's a thriller, but like they're running through the forest trying to escape, and it's just like,
yeah, has somebody who's like deranged,
crazy ass brother,
crazy,
just nutso story,
spooky,
so scary.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I was on the my anxiety was so peaked reading this book. It's a fall read.
Yeah.
For sure. That's definitely a book that I read like cozied up, candlelit, lights dim.
Yeah.
Spooky.
I don't know about you, but as far as winter goes, I go for like comfort. I go back to like comfort reads a lot in the winter.
Same.
That's usually when I reread a lot. But the one that I want to mention is Harry Potter. The first Harry Potter movie is a Christmas movie, and I will die on this hill. Maybe it's just because I always reread the books and rewatch the movies around Christmas time usually.
Okay.
This year is like the only exception. I always rewatch the movies around Christmas, but I seriously feel like the first Harry Potter movie is a Christmas movie, and so when I reread the first Harry Potter book, it makes me think of Christmas, because Christmas at Hogwarts is like the most magical thing.
I had originally put down Harry Potter as well for winter.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't even necessarily all take place in winter, but it feels like a cozy winter read for me.
It does. There's something magical about it.
Yeah.
And Christmas time is magical, so I absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. For me, I put Mudbane by Taryn Fisher. Number one, because it's like, that's my soul book, so I 100% go back to it all the time. Also, they wake up in like this cabin surrounded by a ton of snow. So like, what's more wintry than that? So it not only gives off wintry vibes, but it's very like cozy, my comfort read.
Yeah.
You know.
speaking of wintry vibes, The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, just simply because it takes place in Alaska. Alaska is very wintry.
Very wintry.
And just the scenery, the way that it's described, covered in snow. Also, they celebrate Christmas there. It just feels very wintry to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's other seasons in Alaska. I realize that it's not always snow in Alaska, but when I think of this book, I think of snowy winters in Alaska.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My last one for winter is my other comfort read that I would like to go back to, and it's Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. And that's just, that really has absolutely no correlation with winter.
But it's just
I understand that. But it's just like my go-to comfort read. So that's just, it's nice to cozy up and get in with my favorite vampire, Louis.
With your beloved characters.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's kind of, it's very, you could take it kind of any way with your favorite seasons and what kind of books you want to read. But as you see, like, for us, with summer, we want to read some more romance.
Lighter books.
Yeah. Winter, I do tend to go with comfort reads or some heavier ones.
Fall is very heavy for me.
Fall is definitely a heavier thriller month. Spring is more like fantasy and like paranormal for me. But we are very, very much mood readers. Like, it just depends on the day what I decide to pick up. But I'd say that that's typically like my year.
Yeah.
And a wrap up.
I also have like what I think is the reverse seasonal depression. I really love the colder months. So in the summer, I'm like not usually in a good mood, so I want to read things that will put me in a good mood.
Okay.
Whereas like in winter, I am really happy, so I want to read like books that are like comforting. I don't want to like take away from that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I want to read things that will make me happy in the summer because I hate summer.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't particularly like really hot weather, and I don't particularly like cold weather.
Oh, so you're just never...
I'm just never happy in the Midwest.
Yeah. Our summers get very hot and humid, and our winters are very extreme, so...
So yeah, I really like spring.
I hate spring.
Although, my allergies absolutely hate it. So fall is my absolute favorite, but we get like 2 days of fall.
I actually controversially hate spring more than summer because I know that spring means that we still have summer coming, but whereas in summer I know that fall is next. So like when spring is here, I'm like, oh, we've got like several more months until fall comes.
True.
But like in summer, like right now in mid-June, I'm like, we just only got a couple more months. True. Seems more like feasible to me.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I get angry because spring is like a blink and then fall is like a blink.
We don't really get like a spring or a fall here.
No, it's very angry for me because they're my favorite.
Yeah.
So summer and winter you can have them.
Like it was literally cold 2 weeks ago and it's going to be, now we have a heat advisory these next 2 days. It's going to be in the 90s. Anyway, now that we went on that tangent.
I mean seasons.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Alright, so we hope you liked that video. A little different from our usual. But comment down below and let us know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when we post next.